If your cruise is stopping in San Juan, Puerto Rico, don't waste this port. This is one of the best walkable cruise ports in the entire Caribbean. You don't need a taxi, and technically you don't even need an excursion, but most people either overcomplicate it or underplan it and miss the best parts. Because if you do this right, one day in Old San Juan can feel like you stepped into Europe without ever leaving the Caribbean. And as you sail into the harbor, look to your left side of the ship, those massive stone forts sitting on the cliffs. That's where your day should start. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to spend one perfect day in Old San Juan, all within walking distance of your cruise ship. As your cruise ship enters San Juan Bay, look to your left. You'll see massive stone walls sitting on large cliffs overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. That's the Castillo San Felipe de Morro, one of the most famous forts in the Caribbean. That fort dates back to the 1500s and were built by the Spanish to protect the city from invasion. It's honestly one of the most beautiful sail-ins in the Caribbean, especially if you catch it early in the morning with a soft light hitting the cliffs. And if you've got a balcony on the left side of the ship or the port side, have your camera ready. One of the best parts about Old San Juan is that most cruise ships dock directly in Old San Juan. One quick thing that makes San Juan especially easy, this is a US territory. That means US citizens don't need a passport on a closed-loop cruise, the currency is the US dollar, and your cell phone usually works just like it does at home. For a lot of first-time cruisers, that just makes the day feel a little less stressful. You walk off the ship and you're already in the historic district. No long industrial pier, no complicated transportation logistics, just colorful buildings, cobblestone streets, and history immediately surrounding you. Now, with that said, Old San Juan is beautiful, but it is a little hilly. So if you have some mobility concerns, or you're traveling with young kids, or you just don't feel like walking uphill in the heat, you have some options. There are usually taxis available right near the port, and there's often a free city trolley that loops through Old San Juan, including stops near the fort. Service can vary depending on the day, but it's definitely worth asking at the port whether or not that's going to be available. What we often do is that we take a quick taxi up towards El Morro and then make our slow downhill walk back towards the cruise ship. That way you get the views without exhausting yourself at the beginning of the day. And if you prefer something a little more structured, I've linked a couple excellent local tour guides in the description of this video. You can book a private van tour that drives you around the city, or hire a professional walking guide who will explain the history as you explore. Those are great options if you want more context, less guesswork, and a smoother experience, especially if this is your first time visiting San Juan. And before we head up there, just know Old San Juan can get hot and humid, especially midday. There's very little shade walking uphill, so I recommend doing the forts first thing in the morning, bringing some water, and wearing very comfortable shoes. And that uphill walk feels very different at 9 a.m. versus 1 p.m. Your first stop should be the Castillo San Felipe del Morro, also known as El Morro. And if you do decide to walk, it's about a 25 to 30 minute walk from the cruise pier, and it's slightly uphill. The summer months can be extremely hot. It's manageable for most people, but you'll definitely feel it in the heat. And in general, that's why I recommend either go early or take a taxi and walk back, or book a local tour or use the city trolley if it's running. Entry is inexpensive and your ticket actually covers both major forts in the city if you decide to see both. At the fort, you can walk along the massive outer walls, explore tunnels, climb the lookout towers, and stand where soldiers once defended the city centuries ago. And the big green lawn in front is perfect for a photo. You'll often see locals flying kites with the Atlantic Ocean behind them. We've personally purchased kites and let the kids fly kites. The wind can be strong, but it's a perfect area to fly a kite. And just so you know, there are restrooms and small visitor areas inside the fort, so you don't need to worry about that before heading up. And if you enjoy El Morro and want more history, you can also visit Castillo San Cristóbal. It's closer to the cruise port and less crowded. This fort protected the city from land attacks, while El Morro protected it from the sea. Personally, we usually skip San Cristóbal because by that point we're ready for a cold beer and maybe a little botana. And if you only have time for one, I definitely choose El Morro for the scenery. This is the first fort I mentioned, and you'll see as you sail in on the cruise ship. After the forts, this is where Old San Juan really shines. Just wandering Old San Juan is very walkable and generally feels very safe during the daytime, especially in the main historic district. But just like any city, just stay aware of your surroundings, but this is one of the easier cruise ports to explore on your own. But if you do want a little more direction, here are a few streets you shouldn't miss. There's Calle Fortaleza, one of the most photographed streets in Old San Juan. Unfortunately, the umbrellas have not returned, at least not at the time of this recording. And then there's also Calle de Cristóbal. This runs from El Morro down towards the cathedral and has beautiful historic buildings along the way. Calle San Sebastian, lively, colorful, filled with restaurants and local shops. And don't forget to look down at those blue cobblestones. They were originally brought over from Spain centuries ago. And if you'd like a structured route instead of guessing where to go, we actually created a walking route that maps everything out step by step. I've linked that in the description of this video so you can plan and follow the exact path we recommend, including photo spots and food stops. Also, a quick reminder to subscribe if you find videos like these useful. It really helps out the channel and helps others discover this information. At some point, you're gonna wanna cool off a bit. 2 spots that we personally enjoyed, one of them being La Taberna Lupulo. This was a great place to grab a beer, have a light appetizer. They have a huge craft beer selection, and it gives you a little break from the heat. I'll link both of these options in the description of this video. And right nearby is Birra and Empanadas. It's super casual. They have great empanadas and an easy stop if you want something quick before heading back to the ship. These are the kind of places that make San Juan such a fun cruise stop. You can explore history in the morning and then relax, grab some good food and drinks in the afternoon, all within walking distance of your ship. And if you happen to get one of those quick tropical rain showers, which definitely happens here, just duck into a cafe or a church for a few minutes until it passes. They usually don't last very long. If you want something a little different from history and walking, you can book a short harbor sailing excursion. You could take a quick taxi to Condado Beach, or you could grab lunch with an ocean view. If you're a fan of rum, you could also visit Casa Bacardí across the bay. That does require transportation. Usually you can take the ferry over or a taxi. You'll want to plan a little bit more time for that if you decide to do that. But we did the Bacardí tour a few years ago, even with the kids, and we really enjoyed it. But honestly, for one cruise day, the enjoyment of walking around Old San Juan and soaking everything in is a great day. As for some of the food and drinks, take advantage of being in Puerto Rico. Try some mofongo, mashed fried plantains, one of the most popular local dishes, and tostones are also similar and one of my personal favorites. You have a wide range of fresh seafood, and definitely try a piña colada, which was invented in San Juan. And there are plenty of restaurants within walking distance of the pier, ranging from casual cafes to upscale dining. Just be mindful of the ship departure time. Always give yourself a little extra time. Here's how I would plan one perfect day. The morning, we would walk over to El Morro first before it gets too hot. Midday, we typically explore Old San Juan, the streets, the local shops. And then the afternoon, we relax, we find a great spot for lunch, and then we slowly head back towards the ship. Because everything is walkable, you don't really feel like you're rushed, and you don't need to rush. San Juan is easy, but don't get too relaxed. Ships leave on time. Make sure you know the ship time versus local time, the last all aboard time, and allow at least 30 to 45 minutes buffer. Missing the ship in a US territory would be extremely frustrating. And one more thing, don't miss the sail away. Head up to an upper deck when the ship leaves port. Seeing the city walls and the forts from the water as you pull away is just as beautiful as you sail in. If you've got San Juan on your cruise itinerary, you're lucky. This is one of the most historic, beautiful, and easiest ports in the Caribbean. Watch the forts on the left as you sail in and again as you sail away. Walk the city, explore the history, eat the food, and enjoy one of the best cruise stops you can have. Also, I'd like to mention that one of our favorite things is taking a cruise that actually sails away from Old San Juan, because you get deeper into the southern Caribbean islands and you see some beautiful places like St. Lucia, Antigua, Barbados. Whereas when you leave from Florida, you don't typically get as south. And so you see like the Bahamas, the southern Caribbean, the western Caribbean, and you don't really get as deep. When you leave from Old San Juan, which I have a video on about how we like to go into Old San Juan, spend a day or two there before the cruise, and then take a cruise into some of those really, really beautiful islands and beautiful destinations. So be sure to check out that video as well. And lastly, if this video helped you plan your day in San Juan, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe for more real cruise port guides, and be sure to share it with your Facebook group or the people you'll be traveling with. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.